welcome you my dear students. My name is Saima and I am teaching you the subject Modern Drama. This is our first learning session with BS English 6th semester. In this session, we would like to learn about the modern dramas. And the way we go ahead, the concept is that we are going to discuss today the introduction to modern drama, features of modern drama, and introduction to Henrik Ibsen, and the outline story of A Doll House, its themes and characters and symbol. So my dear students, let's discuss the modern drama. So my dear students, let me discuss that after the death of Shakespeare and his contemporaries, means his contemporaries of drama in England suffered a decline for 2 centuries. Even Congreve in the 17th and Sheridan and the Goldsmith in the 18th century could not restore drama to the position it held during the Elizabethan age. It was retrieved, however, in the last decade of the 19th century, and then there appeared dramatists who have now given it a respectable place in English literature. My dear students, let me tell you that the 2 important factors were responsible for the revival of the drama in 1890s. One was the influence of Ibsen, the great Norwegian dramatist, and the under which the English dramatists like Bernard Shaw claimed the right to discuss serious social and moral problems in a calm, sensible way. The second was the cynical atmosphere prevailing at that time, which allowed men like Oscar Wilde to treat the moral assumptions of the Victorian age with frivolity and make polite fun of their conventionality, or we can simply say it the tradition. So if we talk about the prudishness and smugness, means the excessive pride in one's achievement, the first factor gave rise to the comedy of idea or purpose, while the second revived the comedy of manners of the artificial comedy. So my dear students, let me discuss what is the modern drama. So drama is a literary art which usually have characters, plot, dialogues and acts on stage. The difference between traditional drama and modern drama is actually the theme and its style. If we talk about the traditional drama, it dealt with supernatural element, fate, heroic deeds, etc. Whereas modern drama deals with the realism, absurdism, etc. So some of famous modern playwright are Henrik Ibsen, George Bernard Shaw, Edward Albee and Arthur Miller, etc. Among them, Henrik Ibsen considered as a father of modern drama. So my dear students, it was about the drama. Now we are going to discuss about the features or the characteristics of modern drama. So there are some characteristics of modern drama. These are the given below, the naturalism, absurdism and realism. If we talk about the absurdism, the example is the playboy of the Western world, and the example of realism is the zoo story, and the naturalism is A Doll House. So my dear students, let's discuss the naturalism. What is naturalism? A manner or a technique of treating subject matter that present through a volume of details deterministic view of human life and actions. My dear students, let me tell you that the modern playwrights like Henrik Ibsen show naturalism in their writing. As Henrik Ibsen showed in his the play A Doll House that women are always dominated by men and society as well. He showed that Nora was ordered to listen and dominated by her father in her childhood. After her marriage, she is also dominated by her husband as well. Dear students, if we talk about the Nora, she cannot do anything without her husband's permission. She had no will or right so that she can do something by herself. Even when she did something for her husband's sake, she was marked as a guilty. As this drama shows that Henrik Ibsen, A Dollhouse, is clearly a reflection of naturalistic picture of the society, how women are dominated by men as well as the system of the society. My dear students, let me discuss about the absurdism. The philosophical and literary doctrine that human beings' life is in essential isolation in a meaningless and irrational world. One of the prominent modern drama playwright is J.M. Sen, and in his the playboy of the Western world, he showed how people accept absurd things are happening in their life. So Christy Mahan the central character of the play, who took attempt to kill his father, and when he came to Mayo, the people of Mayo were astonished to hear, "I killed my father," and then they became fan of him and his bravery. So some of girls and ladies were so excited to see this hero who killed his father, a lady called Widow Queen, who started to seduce that so-called hero. This is a play of total absurdity. This is not happen in our normal life. Usually people never accept a criminal as hero, but it happens in J.M. Sen, his play, A Playboy of the Western World. So if we talk about the realism, let me tell you that the movement or style of the representing familiar things as they actually are. Another modern playwright, Edward Albee, who one of the renowned work is the Zoo Story. In this play, he showed how people confine themselves for the sake of civilization. As example, in the play, the central character Jerry walked on the park, and where a civilized man, Peter, was reading newspaper. Jerry started to talk with Peter without any introduction. Dear students, sometimes he asked Peter about Peter's personal life, because Jerry wanted to burst out Peter's real attitude, which was covered by the sheet of civilization. Jerry was tired of being confined himself into the cage of so-called civilization. He did not want to talk little intimacy because he felt lonesome. As he was lonely, he tried to make a friend-like relation with a dog of his landlord, and at last he killed himself. So, from the context, we can understand that Edward Albee showed a realistic picture which is clear to us that civilization makes people introvert. And many people of this world just unable to accept this. So this was about the characteristics of modern drama. Now we are going to discuss about the Henrik Ibsen. So my dear students, Henrik Ibsen was born on March 20th, 1828, and he was died on May 23rd, 1906. He was the son of a wealthy merchant family, Knud Ibsen, and the father name was Knud Ibsen, and Mary Jane Ibsen was the mother of Henrik Ibsen. His father went bankrupt when he was 7 years old. His father became an alcoholic. and abusive toward the Ibsen's mother and Ibsen himself. Ibsen had one illegitimate child who had never saw. Means he never saw him. In 1858, Ibsen married Susanna Thoresen and they had one son, means Sigurd Ibsen, who later became the Prime Minister. So my dear students, let me discuss about the career of Henrik Ibsen. A member of the modernist movement, means he was the member of a modernist movement. His plays were considered scandalous. Means we can simply say that we find many scandals in his work or in his life. Ibsen sought to examine life under the facade of the perfect family. His plays were partially responsible for sparking the feminist movement in the United States. If we talk about the influences in his life, so it was August Strindberg, Henrik Wegeland, and Søren Kierkegaard, and George Brandes, James Peter Jacobson, and Peter Christian Ebjorns. So my dear students, if you talk about the major works, so we can simply say that means his major works are Love's Comedy, The Pretenders, Brand, Peer Gynt, and The League of Youth, Emperor and Galilean, and Pillars of Society, A Dollhouse, Ghost, and Enemy of the People, The Wild Duck, and Rosemarsh. So my dear students, let's discuss the Dollhouse. A Dollhouse is a 3-act problem play written when a revolution was going on in Europe. The play is a landmark in the development of a new genre, realism, which depicts life appropriately, thus going against idealism and utopian thought of the preceding age. So the play deals with the fate of a married woman who lacked opportunities for self-fulfillment in a male-dominant world at that time. So dear students, the title highlights two important aspects of the play, a doll and a house. If we talk about the doll, means the doll and house symbolizes the main character, that is Nora Helmer, and the house in which she lives, in which her husband Thorvald Helmer lives. So it is clear that Ibsen named his play A Dollhouse because of the relationship between the Nora and Thorvald, the perfection of the house in which they live and constant. So my dear students, let's discuss the summary. Means this is the story of Nora Helmer, an upper middle class woman who is married with 3 children. Her husband Thorvald has just gotten a job as bank manager that will start after Christmas. As was typical, Nora does not work and stays at home. The Helmers had a maid, Helena, and a nanny, Annie Mary, who cares for the 3 children. Dr. Rank is a good friend of Thorvald who visits the Helmers daily. He is suffering from a fatal disease but is keeping the severity of the disease from the Helmers. Dear students, Nora Helmer once secretly borrowed a large sum of money so that her husband could we can simply say that they recuperate from the serious illness. Dear students, let me tell you that she never told him of this loan and has been secretly paying it back in small installments by saving from her household allowance. Her husband Thorvald thinks her careless and childlike and often call her his doll. Neil Coxted is the person from whom Nora has borrowed her money. It is then revealed that she forged her father's signature in order to get the money. So Krogstad threatens to reveal Nora's crime and thus disgrace her and her husband unless Nora can convince her husband not to firm him or not to fire him. So Nora tries to influence her husband, but he thinks of Nora as a simple child who cannot understand the value of money or business. So an old friend of Nora, means that is the Christine Land, appears at the door. It is soon revealed that Nora has a big secret she has been keeping from her husband, but she believes that the secret will disappear after Christmas. But then, as in keeping with a tragedy, things do not go as planned and her situation goes from bad to worse. Like Nora, means like other main character of tragedies, is a tragic heroine and she has a tragic flaw. Thus, when Talbot discovers that Nora has forged her husband's name, he is really to disclaim his wife even though she had done it for him. Later, when all is solved, Nora sees that her husband is not worth her love and she leaves him. So it was about the story. Now we are going to discuss about the characters. Nora Helmer, the central character who is a doll for her husband to dress up, show off and give direction to. So she is childlike, romping easily with her 3 children. The next character is the Talbot Helmer, means Nora's husband, a bank manager who was once gravely ill and needed to go to the southern climate to improve his health. If we talk about the next character, that is the Dr. Rank, a family friend of the Helmer. He is gravely ill. The next character is the Christine Lane, means who is an old family friend of Nora's. Means Christine is a widow who was once engaged to Niels Krogstad. Neil Krogstad, who is a lawyer and moneylender, who is a former acquaintance of Talbot and works at his bank. His position is tenuous there, and because of ruining his reputation and career by committing forgery, Dr. Rank, means calls Krogstad morally diseased. And the next character is the Anne, means the children's nurse. Let me discuss about the symbols. Means if we talk about the Christmas tree, means it represents the materialistic properties and decoration of Christmas, means similar to the personality of Nora. If we talk about the Christmas, it represents how Nora pushed the role of being doll onto the children. Nora's role as means the spendthrift. So later it represents the inner thought of the characters and the reality of their behavior. The next is the Nora, she represents the way most women are treated as a possession of their father, and their husbands also represent immaturity. The next character is the next symbol is the Talbot. He represents materialist traditional man, not self-aware hypocrite. Christine Lane, she represents the reality of society and contrast with Nora, betrayed of relationship. Pet names demonstrate the Talbot's possession over Nora in their marriage. How Talbot keeps a child. So New Year Day, it represents a new phase in life, usually met with high expectations, Nora's new beginning. So let's discuss the theme. Means here we find the theme of self-sacrifice. Nora sacrifices children in order to find her true reality or identity. Means she not allowed to handle money, conduct business within society, get educated, isolated in marriages. Means these are found in Nora. So appearance versus reality means apparently the character do not match the realities of who they are. For example, if we talk about the Torvald appears loving and caring but is selfish and cares more for reputation. The next is the morality, means society morality versus the true morality. For example, Nora forged her husband's Nora forged her husband's signature. Her father's signature. So individual versus society. If we talk about the this theme, means Nora, a dutiful mother and wife, spends most of the play putting other before herself. She thinks little of how her act of forgery and debt to Krogstad affect her personality, opting instead to worry about how they might impact the life of her husband and children, even when she plans to kill herself near the end of the play. So this was about the we can simply say that about the things, mean the themes in this play. So it was about the lecture. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.